today I would love to share with you about my view on self-love. I don't know if you're similar like me. Sometimes the expression of self-love could be a little confusing or too abstract. So some aspects of it sounds absolutely logical. For example, you probably have heard, if you don't love yourself, you will struggle in your relationship with giving and receiving love, which sounds very reasonable. But what is it really, self-love? I mean, each of us have a very different concept and idea what love is. And how would self-love look like? And especially for those of us which we haven't had it naturally, like received love and safety from our childhood. And we might not have a really healthy concept and idea about the love which we experienced so far. Well, in that direction, I realized that self-acceptance is actually one of the first steps on that journey of self-love. And you may say, oh, okay, it's another abstract term. And you might know or hear a lot about acceptance in different contexts, like religions or philosophies and Buddhism. You might accepting. And you might have a different feeling when you hear even that word. But what is it? Self-acceptance. Is it when I just say, I accept myself, that's how I am. I am someone who this and this, and I accept myself. It's like very clear declaration, a word and affirmation, or whatever it is. And this is self-acceptance. Some other of you might ask, like, but how does it work? How do I say, like, I accept myself fully? And while I know there are weaknesses in me, because I'm just not perfect, I'm a human being, and I would love to work on my weaknesses in order to be a better person, improve myself, become a better version of myself, or what else you might use it in that terminology. So these two, I accept, that's how I am, I accept fully myself, that's who I am. One pole is a one pole. And another one is, yeah, I have strengths and weaknesses, and I work on my weaknesses to be better, or better and better every day. So what I really believe is none of this is really authentically accepting self-acceptance. In first version, when I say, like, I am someone who this and this, and I fully accept myself, that's how I am, who I am. It's referring to own character as something like one thing solid, right? And this is, even when there's some social psychology schools might even have referred to it. You have, have all this loads of personality tests which you categorize yourself to one or another, is an assumption that you're like just a certain way, that's your personality, which is not really according to the reality we know from each other, from like inside in our inner world. We are not this one particular personality. We have so many different parts and sounds. It's not like that, I am a strong person, I am an angry, so it's just sometimes I'm this, and in some other ways, in different environment, in different setting, in a different time of the month, I am differently, or is a lot more into me than just one particular one. So if someone say, I'm just like that, I accept myself, it somehow sounds like that one particular part or sound in internal voice kind of dominate the rest. And like taking the lead is like, that's who you are, me, that's one way. And this is actually the opposite of acceptance, in the way that we can accept all parts of us and feel whole and complete. So hold that thought. That's one pole. The other pole was, okay, like I have weaknesses and I know it. I'm aware of them and I'm working on them. I want to improve myself. I want to be a better person. So what's wrong with that? Well, that's the thing is, if you use it and have it or having in mind that is a better, that is already a judgment in it. That means you think right now is not good enough. You need to get better. And that's a hidden part that you don't accept yourself. You're kind of in a fight with some parts of you and you think they're not good. And that's the point, is even that way of thinking is not really even serving you in any transformation or development or changing what you want, because that's really a sentence which worked a lot. Really, I saw it a lot in my life. What you persists resists. And it's so true. If you do not accept something inside yourself and you really want to fight it back, no, I don't want you to be, I want you to be changed, like a part of you, that stays. That's like, doesn't go away. It's just really pushed back always and always again. Okay. So, but what's wrong about wanting a change? What's about wanting it to be better? So nothing is wrong about that. You probably would need a different mindset, which is more including the self-acceptance. I loved an analogy I heard in this context. A tree is always perfect and it grows naturally. So you wouldn't talk ever about a tree is not good enough, has weaknesses and needs to get better. In every moment, a tree is perfect. And of course it grows because it's a part of its nature. So if you can really live and play with that kind of mindset, that has a lot won. And yet coming back to the particular topic of self-acceptance and how is it possible, like concretely, when I was talking about, okay, seeing, accepting all parts of you and like feeling whole and complete, it's literally about seeing that you consist of so many parts inside you, so many voices, different feelings, the different needs are in there. Some are very loud, some are very quiet, but they are still there. Or they are sometimes even might not have a word, but just have it in the way you carry your body. So the main thing is, the main practice is to see ourselves separate or as an observer, as an adult, than all of these parts of us, and holding the space for them and be able to be with them. Let's take an example. For example, if someone has got issues with aggression, so something like a little more clear. So that's the thing. The thing is, there is a lot of discussion. How could that person have developed that issue? It's probably something in a childhood that was not properly dealt with, but that's the point. If that person just want to change it, no, I have this aggression, I should change it, I don't like it, like I want to change it. What you persists resists. So it's not that easy. That means something in between needs to happen, and that's the particular acceptance, which is, if I could go and be with that part of me, which I even don't like, when I can go and grant a being to that part, it's allowed to exist, that anger, and just holding the space that part of me needs from myself in the space hold. And also the other voices. So the one who's needy, the one who's jealous, the one who's proud, like all of that, especially those who really haven't got the voice, the one they didn't have really, they never were listened to because they were just made wrong by our parents, by ourselves, we kept always and always making them wrong. So how the practice would be is you literally an embodiment, which I invite you to, yeah, experience it, because it doesn't matter how much I talk about that, isn't a body and feeling experience. You really need to feel it with your body. We go literally imagine them that you are a person is really holding a space. You're an adult with a distance, and there are rooms and spaces where these are different parts of you, and you go inside literally, you make movement and you experience that, the atmosphere, you experience it, how it feels on you when you enter that room, when you can be with that, even when it's hard for you, when because they're unwanted, because you just and come back. I can be with that. And this is when the magic starts, when that part of you feels hurt, feels behold, and that's soft enough. As I say, it's not enough. I cannot tell you enough with the words. You have to come and experience by yourself. But just remember, self-acceptance is really the first step to self-love. Because how can we love something when we even don't accept that part? We want that to be different. So this is not a real love. See you soon.